What's happening, fam? L.A.R moving, still moving. Book entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father at Amazon Kindle Create Space. Um, let's talk food. Diet and exercise, food and exercise. You know, um, for older people, like I'm in my late 30s. Um, at this point, I exercise probably every day for the most part. I go lifting, I lift weights one day and I go running the next. I always do sit-ups every day. Um, so when it comes to food and exercise, people act like that they try to shortcut their way around their health, and I don't think that's a good idea. First and foremost is time. I think some of y'all have to actually consider the fact that the time that we're talking, you may spend more time procrastinating, talking yourself out of eating healthy and working out, and wasting your time watching television or playing around on the internet. You could have worked out and ate healthy in that same amount of time or even less, and saw the results and live live a healthier life because of that, because it's time. A lot of times, if I tell you, I can tell you, I used to do push-ups and sit-ups all the time, so I pretty much got to my push-ups and sit-ups was probably 1,000 push-ups, 1,000 sit-ups. I stopped doing that in college because I was doing more athletics, but that was the routine. Now people are like, how you do 1,000 push-ups and 1,000 sit-ups? Well, very easy. You alternate 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and you can do varying different types of push-ups and sit-ups. So in all actuality, um, it I probably did that in under 15 minutes. So as far as time's concerns, guess what? It didn't take that long. If you could do it in 15 minutes, but I understand that in the beginning, who's going to be able to do 1,000 like that? And I didn't start at 1,000. Back in the day, I could still do 1,000 now. That's easy work, but it's it's the idea that I started when I was younger as a kid, 25, so it was 250. Then I went from 25 and I did the same thing, 25 sit-ups, 25 push-ups. Then I went to 50. Then I went to 75. Then I went to 100 per set. You build, and that's the thing. It probably took the same um, 15 minutes or less when I started at 25. I still got results. I just got stronger and was able to do more. That's pretty much it. Um, the other thing, same thing with running. I used to run track, so you can run a mile, you know, five if you're going fast and you just 5 to 7 minutes. Just depends. 6 minute miles is pretty cool. But if that's where your starting point, that's your starting point. But if your goal is to run a mile a day, you know, no matter how big or small you are, you might be done in 10 minutes. You know, so do you have an excuse to not take those 10 minutes? Not really. You're just lying to yourself. Uh, as far as how can I say this? Food, time. When it comes to, oh man, people eating fast food. Well, I say this plenty of times. I walk in the fast food restaurants and I look around and I look at the people there. And when you look at how the people look in the fast food, how their physical health, when you look at them in the fast food restaurant, you look and you're like, I don't want to eat this. Because the time I get this food real fast, but look at how it's processing in these other people's bodies. So obviously, if all of these people look like they're gonna have health issues, when you can probably tell they eating like this on a regular basis, then you're gonna have health issues if you eat like that on a regular basis, and you don't work out on a regular basis. Cause I'm not built like no damn bodybuilder. you know. But at the same time, I'm no slouch, baby. I'm no slouch. But that takes time and effort. So same thing when you cook food, it takes too long to prep the food. Well, once you take a day out of the week and you buy you some vegetables or whatever your food is, and you prep it a day, 2 days early. So when you decide to come in the house and cook, guess what? Your rice is already ready to go to be cooked, or your pasta. You ain't got to do too much with rice and pasta, but say your vegetables are already chopped up and seasoned if you season them or whatever. Your meat is already it's been marinated already. So your cooking might take 15 minutes, right? 30 minutes. You could you could throw everything in a pan, put it in the oven, bada boom, bada bing. Same thing. Here's the other thing when it comes to the nutrition part. I like to buy pineapples or watermelons. Um, I have an orange tree. I bought a plum tree. It hasn't. I had two plum trees. One of them died, so I just had to get another one. So it's gonna take some years for that. Um, but I chop up my fruits, chop up my vegetables same way. So I don't have to constantly, go in there and slice this up and slice that up. I could just go in some Tupperware, pick it out if I want it, just sit there with it in Tupperware, or put it in a bowl and eat it, and that takes less time. You're eating healthy, but the time is like that. You know, um, Same thing with ow, the types of foods. People say it's healthy to eat expensive. I don't eat organic, quote unquote, food because that's bullshit. Only thing organic about it is the price. You know, in some foods, like I never show this, but in my backyard, I have a pot right now with green onions in it, and all I did was I bought some green onions, and I got tired of buying green onions, so I kept the bulb, I planted the bulb, and I water the plant, and guess what? Because the bulb's in the ground, the green part of it keeps growing and growing, so you just keep cutting when you want some green onions and throw some water in there. A couple days, you got more green onions. There's plenty of foods like that. I used to do that with strawberries, but I had a cat in the neighborhood that would eat the strawberries every fucking day religiously. I didn't even eat any of them damn strawberries. It actually had strawberries, sweet bell pepper, and corn. It couldn't reach the corn because the corn was the stalk or whatever. But them bell peppers and them strawberries, that motherfucker was tearing them shits up. So, that's a way to lessen the cost depending on where you stay, you know. Um, so you could take some of the edge off. I've thought about planting potatoes, beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, ram, hog. Okay. Um, but I didn't do that. So, let's get back on the exercise part of the game. No, take that back. Though it may be a little bit more expensive, uh, I cook with olive oil or grapeseed oil, you know, because, you know, vegetable oil, it's not necessarily good for and olive oil is good for you, and you don't need to and I still fry, like, I don't even eat chicken like that, but every now and then I still fry chicken. I got a cast iron skillet, so I fry chicken. So, but I fry wings. I don't fry like whole, I don't do it. But you don't even people who know about that shit. You don't have to soak the whole goddamn skillet and grease. You just put enough to fry and flip. You know, so you gotta know what you're doing for one, and there you go. But when you're buying food, at the same time, like I said before, sweet potatoes are cheap because they're better than regular potatoes. You can get onions, bell peppers cheap. You can get plenty of vegetables, spinach. got like $1 something a bunch. Like you could everybody who says eating healthy is expensive, they full of shit. They just don't like cooking. Um, Now let's go back, and and seasons change, and that's one of the things that we don't learn about is we forgot about was agriculture and seasons, because that's why the price of some things go up in certain times of year and the price of some things go down, because it's their season, so they grow in more of abundance at this particular time, and then they generate it at another particular time. So food and nutrition go together. The other thing, when you start eating healthy and exercising on a regular basis, um, when you feel your health getting better, when you go back to eating junk food or drinking alcohol or smoking, you're gonna get extra sick because your body is gonna be back to closer to its natural state, and that junk is really gonna mess you up. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, um, I always ate junk food, but the older I get and the healthier I eat and the more I exercise, you know, and this happened when I was younger, when I used to run track, when I used to play football, baseball, wrestle, all types of stuff. There's certain things you can't do because your body just won't physically respond as well. So one of the major things about eating certain things is I know if I'm eating too much greasy food because my body reacts. Even if I eat something once every 2 weeks, like I need to stay away from it. If I'm eating too much dairy, I'm not necessarily lactose intolerant because I don't even drink milk, but when my body reacts. When I drink alcohol, I don't need a lot of alcohol because I'm not a drinker. Like people who drink a lot, they can take on a lot of alcohol because they're accustomed to drinking, so they got to get drunk more and more and more. You go from a 6 pack to a 12 pack to a 24. You know what I'm saying? You go from a fifth to I forget, fifth to a quart, pint, whatever. Fuck, you know what I'm saying? A pint to a gallon, whatever. Because now you need more and more and more to get that buzz. And the healthier you are, you can, 2 beers, maybe 2 shots, you good. Like, I don't mean together. You can have 2 beers and be good. You can have 2 shots and be good. Like, I'm good. You get that buzz, no problem. And because you take care of your health and put the right foods in your body, it actually makes your life cheaper. Because as the older I get, the more I realize I see more and more people going to the hospital because of their poor health, because of so many years that they not taking care of their health. you know. And I'm so sick of seeing people saying they want to get in shape to go on vacation, or get in shape to get in a swimsuit, or get in shape to look good for in their Easter suit, or Christmas or whatever. It's ridiculous. Like, that tells me that you don't care about yourself on a regular basis. That you it has to be a special occasion for you to be your best you. You know and if and then when you like it and get complimented. And this is another thing about exercise and health. Don't want somebody to be all in shape and good looking and eating healthy and working properly, but you want to be a slouch. Why should they have to be up here, but you could be down here? You can't ask for exceptional people, and you walking around mediocre. But I'm gonna get something. I'm gonna get something into this right here. Now, like I said, I'm in my late 30s, and because I kicked up my workout habits, I've never stopped them. I've actually grown a little bit. It makes weird sense, but I remember in my mid 20s, I had a growth spurt. It's like, this crazy. But I worked out and I ate healthier. Same thing happened again. I ran into some friends recently, and I'm like, and they both, and not they both, but well, these two people in particular, they gave me that look, and they was like, you grew. And I didn't realize I grew until I came around them, and I realized, damn, I'm taller than you. When that happened, like, the fuck, you know. And that's what I mean. I don't mean wide. I mean just like my body actually grew more. It makes no sense. But it happens, I'm guessing, because of health and exercise. Another thing, and I'm gonna get out of here, is for some of you fellas out there, the better you eat, the better you work out, the better your blood flow. And the better your blood flow, I'm just saying. We out.